Okay, so I watched the Florida Symposium, and in case any of you haven't gone, you need to go. It's great. I watched Phil Irons do a spin. Now, when they put out the schedule of who's going to do stuff, and it said Caddy spin. Well, I looked up Caddy spin on the internet, and I went, ew, who would do that? That's really ugly. I mean, when you look him up on the internet and on his website, I thought, ew, I'm not going to that one, and I crossed it off the list. So I got the symposium.
Is that very right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So I got the symposium, and there was this gorgeous spoon, this Caddy spoon, and I went to his demo, and I thought, oh, I can do that.
Sit on the X.
Oh. And he did that. It's so pretty, and so I bought it, and I thought, I can do that. I don't know. Maybe I think I'm a little cheaper. So anyway, I'm going to demonstrate it for you tonight, and it's kind of, he had all this equipment and everything, and I kind of made it. So here goes. Let's see, oh, here it is. Okay, so the first thing is, you get your wood, your piece of round wood, I mean your square wood, and you wood the ground. That's where you also have. I've already marked this piece of wood, so.
Last call for next door if anybody wants to refresh it. We'll close.
It's just fun to go to different demonstrations and see what you think you would like, and you'll love it. I ended up loving his and he's a good teacher too. I learned a lot from him, things that I knew that I didn't know. Because I was, just doing, he got me again that if you use your forearm to tool, you get a little extra coordination, a little extra control. And this is just holding on to it. And when you use you can turn your toe stop more often than so that I can kind of put it out there so I can kind of get an idea of what I'm, something, like this is going to be the top, and this is going to be the handle, so I can kind of see how good I want to do it. started my tendon. My husband made this little tendon day. Thank you. Attendance is one of the most important things of the whole tournament. That is going to hold it, that is going to keep it balanced. And I'm pretty worried with this and how I wanted to sort of how well I wanted it to be. To kind of see
You're making 2 caddy spoons at once?
Yes. There are some surprises here. And another person told me that if you use your whole body when you put it, you can get more strength than just doing it with your arms. You can just use your whole body doing it. That's pretty what I like. It's probably like, you can totally use it there. So maybe you see what I'm doing. And then Phil had this handy dandy little thing. It was so cool. And all it is a hole saw with the teeth cut off and sharpened. And you can just do, you can do this. I don't know what it is in here. So, when you do the hole saw, it's flat. See how it's making these ridges right here? Then I can just put this right back up there and get it off more with this.
That's just a Forstner bit?
No, it's a hole saw.
Oh, okay.
It's just a plain old hole saw that you drill holes in, like the doorknobs or...
Yeah.
Yeah, just a hole saw, just a plain old hole saw. I thought it was really quite strong. This is the end right here. The kid maybe the drum is carrying right here. And of course, he did it in 5 seconds. And then you can get another kind of tool right here. It's called sandpaper. And my friend Jack told me that if you do it with your hand like this, you won't get it even because your fingers kind of conform to the sandpaper. But if you hold it this way, or if you have a piece of flat wood, the grooves will come out. So that's what I do. Okay, and then when you finish that, you can just and then just do a little sand on that. But I'm not going to get it because it's long. Okay, so when you finish with that, you've got it all sanded already, then you can take it out of your shot. Oh, I should have parted it off too. I didn't part it off. Okay. But by the magic of, I have another one. And you can put it in this little jig that someone nice to make for you. And you put it in there and it holds it. And it's already got the hole cut in it. And you cut it in half. So,
Rita, what did you use to make your mold for that?
Steve made just wood and Bondo. It's Bondo, yeah, just Bondo, and he carved it.
Because that's what Phil did too.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what, okay, I didn't know if you did that too.
Yeah, no, he did Bondo's great stuff. And anyway, so you put it in your bandsaw, and you cut it straight down the middle, and then you cut off the sides. So then you have 2 strings. And then, okay, so here's the real deal. So, he had this big chuck with some jaws that he custom made out of some kind of poly, blah, blah, blah. And so I had a friend who, I tried to made it out of PVC, well that didn't work. So my friend Charles helped me make this one. Well, this one worked okay, but it kept coming out, and I didn't put the hole in it like Charles told me to. So then another friend of mine said, well, she made one like this, and, you know, and put a hose clamp on it, you know, and clamped it down. And that worked okay. But I was at my other friend's house last Wednesday, and one of the guys who was there had this thing called a rubber chucking spear holder. And ta-da, here it is. But the only problem with this is that when it comes to you, the jaws don't close. So we sanded off just the bottom part. Can you see that? We sanded off the bottom parts of it so that the jaws close better. And then okay. This is too big. You want to try it?
Hold that in, I'll hold this in.
Oh, man.
Amazon put that on for you.
Oh, yeah, that's not coming out.
Okay, what do you want? What can I do? I thought it was fit on here.
Your adapter was to make it smaller, right? So
Yes.
that's
See,
what's
this
wrong.
one, I put it on that one, but I can't get this one off to put it on. You know, I'm just sorry. Okay, so what you do is, have you guys ever used these jaws like this? These, they're called knuckle busters. I hated them until someone told me the secret. When you have your knuckle buster, I don't know if this is the name. I can't believe I forgot that. When you have your knuckle buster, what you do, you have it on your leg, lock your leg down so it won't move, and then just take one of the ends and use it to loosen or tighten. Because when I was doing them, you have why didn't I do that? You have two parallel, or two like holders, one in each, and you have to push it together or pull it apart. I always got my fingers, I can't, and I have cut some. But when they show me just use one instead of two, you can't hurt yourself. Anyway, I don't know why it's like, it's on too tight. I'm sorry. Anyway, you put your piece in here.
Well, you're not turning, come here closer.
Oh, yeah.
There we go.
Oh, yeah, that's better, isn't it?
Now you can-
Man, that's much better. I can see much better, too. Okay, so you put it in here. And tighten it down. But again, with this, you can do it by hand at first. And then when you want it tight, you have to have that little tool I forgot. Anyway, you put it in there and you mount it on your, because it's tight in there, in my rooms. You put it on there and you just get out the wood here and then the spoon part. And after you do that, okay, after you do that, you scooped it out, imagine, and then you have, and these things are really easy to make. In block. And he had three different sandpapers in here. This one's 120, this one's 220, and this is 320. And then he just takes that and just sands it down. And it's rounded, so the sand is going to be rounded. This. And then you can make it as thin or as light as you want. You can do all the different things with it. And it's rounded so you get into those little grooves. You may not bust your knuckle on the knuckle buster, but if you hit this one, definitely feel it. So just be careful when you do this. And then you have a candy spoon when you put some finish on it. And that's, and you can all do this. If I can do it, you all can do it.
So Rita, question, so the purpose of the whole salt is to make it just totally spherical?
Yes, yes. And it really works well. And you saw that I'm not great with it, but it did make it spherical. And when it has the, when it's a sphere and it gets those little bumps in it, because I'm not great with it like he was, really good. Anyway, I could take this and cut off the big pieces, because the whole saw is not going to get all the it will if you really get it, you got it down really good, but you can pay out big pieces with a gap. And it's really nice, yeah. And like I said, the spoons are just gorgeous. They're fun and you can do it. And I'm sorry I forgot the little,
Are you done?
I am done.
Right. Thank you very much.
What's Rita, your sanding thing?
Huh?
Tell us how you made that.
Oh, this was so cool, okay? I will tell you that, because it is cool. I made this, Ron Browning one time, I was trying to do a scoop, a big scoop, and I wasn't quite getting how you stand it after it, and he just took a piece of wood, any wood, and you turn it, round, and then, I guess because I put a tenon on this end, and I put a tenon on this end, I don't know, but I just did. And then you take it to your bandsaw. With this, I took a block of wood, just an old piece of pine, and I put a divot, recess in it, just about this big, exactly. So it fit down in there really tight so I could hold the block of wood so it wouldn't go skimming all over everything. And then I took the bandsaw and just went, it was done. And then you take, to do the sandpaper, you just take a piece of sandpaper almost this long and put it in, wrap it around, put it in again, and Phil used wedges. I couldn't get my wedges right. These are coffee stirrer sticks.
Could you put it over the ash?
Oh, yes. These are coffee stirrer sticks, so that, and
Tip it down a little bit.
like that.
Other way.
There.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, just coffee stirrer sticks, and they fit down in two of them. Fit perfectly. And I guess it depends upon how well how deep you make if you do once at the bandsaw, or twice at the band, or 3 times. I did twice. And this was kind of a fun thing to make, too. But like I said, he used wedges, like little bits of wood wedges, and mine would all stick up, and I couldn't do it. And coffee stirrer sticks work really well. And then I made a hole in the end of it. He had sandpaper that was flat like this, and then it was undulated, and I can't find it anywhere. Been online, so we just found this wheel, and that works pretty good. But it's kind of a neat thing to use for other things too. And especially round things, because you can get into the grooves, like these grooves, it just contours real well. Whereas straight standing, maybe we get maybe more. Anyway, it was a fun project to me. I had a good time. And when you go to a symposium, or you go to somebody's demo thing, I'm not going to you might like it. So, give it a chance. I did it last time too with the walking mushrooms. I thought, they were fun. Yeah. So just go and have fun.